Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Copper Dragons here, and I'm going to be playing some more LEGO Marvel Superheroes. So let's hop right in and continue the game. Now keep in mind, I tried to record this video like twice already. Both times I encountered like bugs that prevented me from completing the level. But I'm going to try and see if I can do it a third time. Either way, let's just hop right in and continue the game. Alright, now last time I finished off that weird, Asgard level, with Loki and, Thor and all them. Wolverine took off with the, Tesseract, and now he's at Charles Xavier School. Oh yeah, about that, my previous two recordings, yeah, it resulted in me, having that puzzle completed to enter the level, and that was essentially as far as I can tell that I really got done.
Professor Charles
So
Xavier's
yeah,
Institute for Higher Learning is an ordinary boarding school, but the truth is, it also serves as a home and shelter for young mutants with extraordinary powers, collectively known as the X-Men.
honestly, the way that the mutants are treated in this game is by far some of the most unrealistic standards I've seen from Marvel. Especially for Captain America, weirdly enough. Like you would think that the mutants would be treated far harsher than what they ended up, getting treated.
I sense
You know?
he's in danger.
Like, yeah,
Do not worry about
they
it.
do have their
I am
orders.
safe in the Cerebro
I'm
chamber,
pretty sure Spider-Man is
with an
one of
object
them.
great power called the Tesseract.
But a large portion of the Marvel Universe, both heroes and
Open the
civilians,
emergency escape
all
tunnels to
hate
lead the
mutants.
students to safety. The escape
So
tunnels are
yeah, let's
hidden.
just try and see what I can do
Find
here.
and open them quickly.
Let's just try and finish off this stuff. I got Cyclops and Jean Grey. Yeah, I know it kind of looks like Rogue, but it's Jean Grey.
Let's get the students to safety.
So yeah, let's just try and get these students to safety already. And just see what I can do from there. Alright. You know what? One major issue I really have with LEGO games as a whole is pretty much essentially how easy, like, a large portion of the enemies end up being. Like, you can take out most of them in, like, a few hits max. Like, sure, a lot of them can overwhelm you if you don't know what you're doing. Or if they're, like, too big to handle all at once. Yeah, then they'll be difficult at that point, but that's essentially it in terms of difficulty for the enemies. Why did Jean Grey just do that to Cyclops? Let's just take out this weirdo right here. Now I'm gonna need Cyclops. Keep in mind, there is like some other enemies that you can encounter throughout this level. Like, not enemies, but characters. Like a character called Iceman, I think that's what he's called, and I know you can encounter Storm. So yeah. Let's just help out everybody I can to get out. Now, each attempt that I've had on this video, it's gotten me further and further and further into the video. I've only had 2 attempts on the video so far, but from what I've encountered, I've gotten further and further each time. So yeah, might as well just try and see if I can beat it this attempt, because on my last attempt to record this video, I made it to the, I believe, final fight of this level. So yeah, might as well just see if I can actually beat the level here. Just in case. Alright, Jean Grey, she can control people's minds.
Perhaps we can borrow that.
So yeah, might as well just try and take control of this construction worker. And just try and see what I can do from there. Okay, I'm doing relatively well. terms of, outright beating this level. I think that, this is the furthest I've made it in such a small amount of time on this level. So, yeah. Might as well just try and, I guess, see what I can do. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of a weird animation. Like, why not just slam him down harder? Instead of just outright just hating him. Like, jumping on him that much. Like, it just doesn't really make sense to do that. Alright, let's just see what I can do here. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get out of here. That character right there that has Storm, it's Toad. Yeah, I'm assuming that he has the powers of, like, a Toad.
Right.
If anything, judging by the fact his name is literally Toad, so might be the best guess to try and, guess his name as Toad, or at least his powers. So yeah, let's go ahead and freeze Storm. But yeah, it's something wild I've noticed? How many of the X-Men, like main X-Men, are like Omega level mutants? Isn't it kind of weird to think about, like how many of them are just outright plain and simple, Omegas, in terms of mutant power. Keep in mind, that's like the same kind of strength as characters like Magneto. Omega level mutants like the same kind of level as Charles Xavier and Magneto. Both of which are like highly trained and highly skilled mutants. And it's wild how how many Omega level mutants there are. Especially for, I'm pretty sure it's stated that they're supposed to be like kind of rare. I think. I could be wrong on that. So correct me if I am in the comments. But alright, let's just try and, I guess, free up these students. I need Storm, to be able to power this thing up right here. I know I'm gonna need another charge after this. I know I am. So I'm gonna have to get another, charge up. So yeah, let's try and charge up Storm again. Then, see what I can do after that. Alright. Now let's use Cyclops real quick.
Come in, X-Men. Is anyone there?
Okay, I need to get some parts.
What's your situation?
To be able to heal up
No
real
time
quick.
to explain. I've locked the school down so the doors won't open. Need to force
Yeah,
your way through.
why does it sound like sometimes they use like the same voice actor for multiple characters? That sounds, voice that just spoke sounds a lot like Thor. Don't you think? Also something that I've noticed is how like for a lot of the larger, melting segments, they do like cut out more unique shapes depending on the character. And it usually changes for every character. Like for example, Cyclops. His changes, his shape is like an X for that kind of stuff. In the Batman games, in the Lego Batman games, that's like, I believe, bat symbol. Just to be extra safe, I'm gonna, wait, actually, never mind. Let's make a little bit more progress in the level before I can actually do something like that. Use one of those checkpoints. Yeah, let's go ahead and just try and save this guy right here. I think his name is Iceman or Ice Guy or something.
Cold with you, buddy.
Iceman. So yeah. His powers are going to be really useful for this area. Yeah, I'll explain more about it whenever we get further in.
Watch out!
So yeah, but either way, let's just try and, clear all this out, freeze up this water, and then just do whatever I can. Right now, I don't really care too much about the stud meter. I don't really care too much about that in this level, because I just want to focus on finishing up the main story over, you know, outright just focus on multiple things at once. I can just go back and get all the missing stud meters anyways. So, yeah. Okay, let's just swap back to Iceman. And then just freeze this water over here. So that way I can, you know, create a bridge. Now, the first segment that I got stuck on due to a glitch is coming up soon. But the second, it's like in the Juggernaut fight. You'll see what I mean. Like, I got stuck in an idle animation with an upcoming character that I'll get to use in, you know, the level. So yeah, let's just go ahead and just open this up. And then, you know, melt this door. And just see what I can do from there. I'm gonna turn off my micro.
Those helpless children, you must rescue them.
Alright, let's go ahead and just try and finish up this level already. And just see what I can do. I'm gonna need Jean Grey, to open up this bookshelf area. And then control this guy in here. Pull that switch. And that's about it. Now, I really want to focus on finishing up this level, because I'm tired of reattempting it and doing glitches. Yeah, easily the mutants have to be some of the buggiest characters I've encountered in the entire game, because I've never had this kind of issue with any other character. So, like, the mutants easily, by far, the most buggy characters in the entire game. I don't even want to use them in future levels if I get the option. I don't even want to bother using them due to how much pain they brought me in this level alone.
I'm afraid your attempts
You know,
to stop me are too late. Failure to hand over the
but either way, let's just
will
try and
result
make
in
it through to the end of the
destruction
level.
of your precious
Like, don't
home.
get me wrong, I do love using the mutants. I do love their concept. It's just the fact that this game is so badly broken just by using them that it feels like this level, like their character models were just an afterthought, if anything. You know, like that's how buggy some of them are sometimes. It's just that they feel like an afterthought in how they were designed. And they were only there just for purpose instead of, you know, actually being functional characters. You know, that's easily my least favorite part about the mutants in this game. I just wish that they were, like, designed better instead of just outright being as buggy as what they ended up being. You know what? Let's just bring Jean Grey up here. Oh wait, I am gonna need Iceman. Because Storm doesn't have a launching ability with her storm powers to put out the fires, so I am gonna need Iceman. Now let's get Jean Grey up here. Alright, let's go ahead and swap to Iceman, put out these fires right here. Now I'm gonna need, I think Cyclops?
Got my eye on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to melt some gold, I think. Wait, never mind. I am gonna need Jean Grey. So yeah, let's go ahead and get through this door already. So that way I can, you know, melt the gold, just get through as quickly as possible. Honestly, I just wonder if I'm gonna have to defeat Magneto in this level. Honestly wonder if I'm gonna have to. I know that he's gonna have to be stopped at some point, but I just don't know when, if I had to be honest.
We can't keep up. There has to be a quicker route to head him off.
Alright, I'm gonna use this
Head to the
save point right
fireplace.
here,
We can use the secret
just in
passage.
case, if I have to, you know, out to the map. So yeah. It's mostly so I could quickly get back to this section if it so calls for it. So yeah. Let's go ahead and just stop Juggernaut and all these other villains too. Yeah, here's a little bit of a fun fact. The reason that Juggernaut has that helmet on, I'm pretty sure it's canonically like I believe it's like to protect him from based magic and telekinesis. I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's go ahead and use Storm real quick. Now I'm gonna need Cyclops, I think. Let's help out Storm real quick. Yeah, let's put out that fire. I'm gonna turn off my mic. Alright, sorry about that. Let's just try and finish up this level real quick. I'm gonna need Iceman. I would use Storm, but her powers are less reliable with putting out fires or anything. That's kind of a big reason I don't want to use her right now, because I'm just gonna try and save her for whenever I, have to charge something up. In terms of like those one power unit things. Now I'm gonna have to put these statues on these weird panel things, just to be able to get through. Yeah, on my last attempted recording of this, I had to, just try and, figure out which way they went, because I got a little confused on that. But yeah. Let's use Storm real quick. So that way I can, get through this. Alright, let's go ahead and go. And just see what I can do. I don't have to get the students through here, I just have to go myself.
Professor!
Professor X has agreed to let me care for the Tesseract.
He has.
Of course. He knows I'm good with technology.
Most obvious trick ever. Like, Jesus Christ. That is by far one of the most obvious tricks I have ever seen. Wait. Iceman's knocked out, but I think I remember him being used in the next fight.
Make sure the children are protected. I'll take care of these.
But either way, let's just keep going. And just see where I can go from here. I'm not going to use Beast in this fight, considering you can use him in this upcoming Juggernaut fight. I'm not going to bother using him, because that's what caused the glitch last time. Because I got trapped in his idle animation. Yeah, I don't know why that happened, if I'm being honest. Hopefully I don't get... Hopefully, if I either A, don't get trapped in his idle animation, or B, don't have to find a use for Beast. Either or would be perfect. For this fight anyways. So yeah. I'm gonna need Jean Grey real quick. Alright, let's just go ahead and just try and see what I can do with all of this. I'm gonna need Jean Grey the most, since she's the one character that can use psychic abilities on this stuff with Juggernaut. So yeah. Let's just wait for him to throw some more stuff. Try and launch it back at him. Yeah, I had to build a little bit of distance to get away from him. So yeah, let's just go ahead and use Iceman real quick. Since, I need to put out these fires right here. Then build a little bit. Now I'm gonna have to use another character, and then pull down this. And then just try and get these doors open. Before it's too late anyways. Alright, let's use Iceman. Jesus Christ. Like, why won't the character stay on? like, it shouldn't be this hard to keep the characters on the levers, you know? Okay, there we go. Finally. Now I'm gonna have to build real quick. Hopefully I can actually beat Juggernaut now. Hopefully I can, instead of, you know, getting trapped over and over and over until the end of time. You know, because that's the main thing that really screws me over, is just getting trapped. So yeah. Hopefully, like, this is about the point that Beast got trapped in his idle animation. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't get stuck there. Yeah, and the main reason I got stuck is because I was trying to swap to Iceman. And then it, for whatever reason, swapped to Beast. And then I got trapped in that idle animation. So yeah, thank God it didn't happen this time. You know? Alright, I need to try and throw this at Juggernaut. This next box. So that way I can try and beat him. Yeah, I know that I have to try and do something to take him out. But first I'm going to collect these studs that I lost due to getting knocked out. Okay, let's just try and do whatever I can. Okay, let's just try and see what I can do. I'm going to turn off my mic. Okay, thank God Beast didn't get trapped in his idle animation. Thank God for that. Because, who knows what would have happened if he got trapped again. You know? Especially for that part specifically. Like, who knows what could have possibly have happened. Maybe I wouldn't have ever been able to beat this level.
Some of this.
Maybe I might have to... Maybe this is the end of the level. Hopefully it is. You know, for obvious reasons. Considering I just really want to get done with this level already. Considering I've attempted it like 3 times and I've failed each one. Because of, you know, glitches. Yeah, that's the main reason I just don't want to use, mutants again. Like, don't get me wrong. I still really love the mutants. It's just that they get so tiring of having to retry this one level that I think I'm going to have PTSD for mutants for the rest of the game, if I'm being honest. Yes, even some of my favorite Marvel characters like Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, that still really sucks. Alright, I think I'm going to have to use Beast to pull this open.
This might require some extra muscle
Oh.
power.
Seems like I'm going to have to build, if anything. So let's just see what I can do with all these pieces. I don't know how I'm going to get to Juggernaut from here. I really don't know. Maybe I can call somebody. Or at least get an armor set. Okay, let's use this. Wait. I'm going to turn off my mic real quick. Alright, sorry about that. Let's just try and take out Juggernaut already. I think I'm pretty close to beating this level already. Now let's move this forward. Yeah, I think I'm pretty close now. So let's just see what I can do with all of this. Maybe this will work. Alright. He lost his helmet. I'm gonna need Jean Grey, I think.
Your mind is a
You know, to launch
blank
that
page,
door
Juggernaut.
back at him,
Now I shall
assumingly.
write on it.
Yeah. Let's just try and see what I can do. There we go. I brain controlled Juggernaut. So let's just see what I can do with all of this. Yeah, let's just move forward. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to throw this at him. You know what? Never mind. Let's freeze him. With Iceman, and then just do whatever I can to take him out. All right, I'm gonna have to do this right here with the water. You know, since freezing is like one of the main mechanisms of this fight.
Try breaking out of this, big guy.
Okay, I'm gonna need Jean Grey. Yeah, hopefully Iceman and Beast can distract those enemies, so that way I can get rid of Juggernaut. Okay, there we go.
Oh, my stars and garters.
What does that even mean? Magneto got away.
That is most unfortunate. I think that
Yeah, I was hoping to fight Magneto, but honestly, I was more or less hoping to get out of this level finally, so that way I can actually be done with it already. Solely because this level was just that annoying to me. So yeah. Wait, so Sue Storm and Thing are both in this level.
You were assisting
Honestly,
Besides, I can
goated
expense
game
it.
for that.
But there's something else I need you to help me with.
Considering
Magneto has
Thing
stolen
and
the
Sue
Tesseract
Storm are
and
some of my
retracted its energy
favorite,
signature to Latveria.
like,
It's
Sue Storm's my
finally time
third
for
favorite
Operation
Fantastic
Latveria
Four
to
member.
get underway.
Why did it take so
Johnny
long to plan?
and the Thing are easily my top two.
Counter-signatures, 4 rounds of notes. You can't
but
believe
yeah.
the bureaucracy I deal with.
If Doom combines the power of the Tesseract with those cosmic bricks,
It could be very dangerous. He has to be stopped.
Yeah, it's...
No, not yet.
Are you going to tell them, sir?
One threat at a time, Coulson.
Okay, it's clearly got to do something with Galactus. Judging by the fact that Silver Surfer is the herald of Galactus.
You could use the exercise.
Meaning that
Shed
Silver
a few of those
Surfer
extra
lures
boulders.
Galactus to planets to eat them.
you in a minute.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Wait, I'm not even gonna get to play as Thing. That sucks. But either way, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.
I think it's still
Bye-bye.
stowed away in Central Park somewhere.